Welcome everyone today as we dive into one of the most unbelievable and fascinating stories in modern numismatics, a journey that takes us deep into the mysteries, oddities, and unexpected treasures hidden within everyday pocket change. And today we are exploring the astonishing tale of the 2012 D1 cent coin that has captured worldwide attention by reportedly reaching a staggering value of $97 million due to an extraordinary combination of errors, anomalies, and minting mishaps that have elevated it into the realm of near-mythical rarity. And as we unfold this remarkable narrative, you'll discover why a coin minted in the billions, a coin that most people spent without a second thought, could suddenly become one of the most sought-after and valuable pieces ever discussed in the numismatic community. Because when it comes to error coins, the smallest irregularity, the faintest misalignment, or even the slightest inconsistency in metal composition can completely transform a humble 1 cent piece into an object so prized that collectors, investors, and even museums would compete furiously to possess it. And the 2012 D penny in this extraordinary case embodies a perfect storm of possibilities that have turned it into a legend. Beginning with the first suspected anomaly involving its obverse die, which some experts believe may have been misaligned during a brief moment in production, creating a subtle but distinct shift in the spacing between Lincoln's profile and the surrounding rim, a shift so unusual and so specific that it appears on no other known examples from the same Denver mint batch, suggesting that this single coin may have been struck at the exact instant a malfunction was occurring, a fleeting window when a slight wobble or vibration in the machinery caused a one-of-a-kind die strike pattern. And while most alignment errors are obvious or easily categorized, this particular one has characteristics that defy standard classification, making it a unique anomaly rather than a typical mint error. And as collectors know, uniqueness is the true foundation of extreme value in numismatics, because mass-produced coins only become extraordinary when they possess something no other example can replicate. And that's only the beginning of the unusual features reported to be present on this astonishing 2012 D penny, as further analysis has suggested the presence of a dramatic, though extremely subtle, doubling effect on parts of the reverse lettering, particularly around the words United States and 1 cent, but unlike common mechanical doubling, this appears crisp, defined, and oddly inconsistent in a way that experts find baffling, almost as though the die itself was briefly subjected to a microscopic slip, twisting or flexing in a manner that produced a doubling unlike any previously documented in the Lincoln Shield cent era. And the rarity of such a phenomenon cannot be overstated, because doubling that doesn't match known varieties instantly elevates interest among specialists who spend years studying these minute details. And when you pair this doubling with the previously mentioned misalignment, the coin takes on an even more mysterious aura, as though it was struck in a perfect storm of mechanical instability, making every characteristic feel almost accidental yet perfectly preserved. And then comes the speculation regarding its metal composition, perhaps the most controversial aspect of this legendary piece, because some believe this particular 2012 D cent may have been struck on a transitional or experimental planchette that slipped into production unnoticed, possibly a copper-based planchette left over from earlier experimental tests, or even a misfed planchette intended for a foreign contract. And while these theories remain unconfirmed, such speculation alone has fueled immense curiosity in the market, because the concept of a modern penny being struck on the wrong metal after the composition standardization of the 1980s is not only rare but borderline unbelievable. Yet history shows that minting accidents involving incorrect planchets have occurred many times, and if such an anomaly were confirmed in a 2012 D penny, it would immediately catapult the coin's value into the stratosphere, adding yet another layer of wonder to its already unusual story. And on top of that, some observers have noted what appears to be evidence of a partial die clash on the obverse, extremely faint but visible under high magnification, as though the dies struck each other without a planchette in between at some earlier moment, leaving behind tiny ghost-like impressions that later transferred faintly onto this coin during its strike. And while die clashes are not uncommon in older series, a clash combined with misalignment, unique doubling, and potential composition anomalies creates a cumulative rarity that becomes almost impossible to duplicate, making this coin's existence seem like the result of several independent minting errors converging at the same instant, a statistical improbability that collectors find irresistible. And in numismatics, when a coin possesses multiple unrelated errors that stack together in such a dramatic fashion, its value doesn't just grow, it multiplies exponentially, because collectors aren't just buying a mistake, they're buying a story, a moment frozen in time, a minting miracle that shouldn't have happened but somehow did, and the more bizarre and layered the anomalies become, the more intense the bidding can get, which is precisely why the story of this 2012 cent reaching a value of $97 million has captured imaginations around the world, because the coin is believed to represent the ultimate trifecta of rarity, mechanical failure, historical intrigue, and numismatic impossibility, a coin that has gone from an ordinary pocket change piece to a phenomenon whispered about in forums, auction houses, and collector circles, and as the myth has grown, so too has the fascination with every microscopic detail of this coin, with some enthusiasts even proposing that the coin may have been part of an internal mint testing sequence, struck under experimental conditions, or produced during a planned shutdown or recalibration phase when abnormalities are most likely to occur unnoticed. And while none of these theories have been confirmed, each adds fuel to the fire of speculation that surrounds this incredible penny, because when no other examples show even a trace of the same pattern of errors, the coin effectively becomes a 1 in a billion occurrence, and rarity on that scale can theoretically justify astronomical valuations, especially when collectors treat the coin as an artifact of mint history rather than merely a piece of currency. And with the growing popularity of error collecting in recent years, particularly through social media platforms and online auctions, the attention surrounding such a legendary coin becomes even more magnified, creating a feedback loop in which excitement generates demand, demand fuels value, and value amplifies the mystique of the coin even further. And as this cycle continues, the 2012 penny's reputation only grows, transforming it from an obscure oddity into a modern numismatic legend whose story speaks to the deep fascination people have with the idea that unimaginable treasure could be hiding in plain sight, tucked in a jar of spare change, resting unnoticed in a desk drawer, or exchanged casually at a grocery store. And it is this sense of possibility, this electric thrill that any ordinary person might stumble upon a once-in-a-lifetime find, that keeps collectors searching tirelessly and keeps stories like the $97 million 2012 penny alive and thriving in the minds of enthusiasts across the globe, reminding us that even the smallest coin can carry the biggest story, and that each piece of currency, no matter how common it seems, has the potential to become something extraordinary when the perfect mix of errors, timing, and mystery converge in a single unforgettable strike. Next 2016 1-cent coin, everyone, and thank you for joining us once again on our exciting journey into the world of rare coins, unbelievable discoveries and mind-blowing values that turn ordinary pocket change into treasures worth more than anyone could ever imagine. And today we are diving into one of the most astonishing stories in modern numismatics, a story that has captivated collectors, shocked experts, and sparked endless discussions about how something as small as a 2016 1-cent coin could end up being valued at an unbelievable $98 million, a figure so high that it seems almost impossible until you explore the strange combination of rare mint errors, production anomalies, unexplained flaws, and intriguing mysteries that make this particular penny one of the most extraordinary coins ever talked about. So get comfortable and stay tuned, because you're about to hear a deep and detailed breakdown of how a seemingly ordinary penny from 2016 could reach a value that surpasses luxury cars, private jets, and even some famous works of art, as we explore all the tiny details, the mix of errors, and the possibilities that transformed this humble copper-coated coin into a legendary numismatic marvel. It all begins with the fact that the United States Mint produces billions of 1-cent coins every year, and among those billions, only a microscopic number, sometimes just 1 or 2, escape the minting process with errors so dramatic and so unique that they instantly become legendary. And this particular 2016 cent has been described as having multiple combined errors, the type of rare combination that collectors dream of but almost never encounter, starting with a striking off-center misalignment that appears in such a way that part of the design is shifted, with the edges showing an uneven strike and the outer rim partially missing, suggesting that the die and planchette were misaligned at the exact moment of contact, creating a visual anomaly that immediately sets the coin apart from ordinary circulation cents. But that's only the beginning, because this incredible penny reportedly carries a double die obverse, causing Lincoln's profile along with the inscriptions to appear ever so slightly doubled, visible especially under magnification, and this doubling is believed to be the result of an improperly hubbed die used early in the production cycle, one that was never corrected before a tiny handful of cents were pressed and slipped into the coin stream, and it's this type of error that collectors desperately search for because it is one of the most dramatic and desirable minting mistakes possible, especially when it appears in combination with other major errors. As if those two errors weren't enough to skyrocket its value, the coin is also said to contain a rare die crack stretching across the reverse side, creating a raised vein-like line that suggests the die was damaged or weakened, allowing metal to flow into the crack during the strike, which left a permanent raised line on the finished coin, and these die cracks can drastically increase a coin's rarity, especially when they appear on newer issues where quality control is usually far stricter and mistakes of this magnitude almost never get released into circulation. Some experts speculate that the planchette itself may have been defective, perhaps improperly cut or containing impurities in the metal mixture, creating unusual coloration or texture, and sometimes a planchette flaw combined with striking errors can result in an ultra-rare hybrid mistake that makes a coin not only visually unique but also historically significant since it shows multiple failures occurring simultaneously inside the mint, a scenario so uncommon that it fascinates both advanced collectors and mint historians. To add to the intrigue, many numismatists believe this 2016 penny may have been part of a transitional batch, a sequence of coins minted just before or after equipment changes, die replacements, or maintenance cycles, moments during which the possibility of mistakes dramatically increases, and when errors occur during transitional windows, the coins become even more desirable because they represent rare snapshots of the mint's internal operations. The combination of off-center striking, doubling, die cracks and planchette anomalies has led some collectors to describe the coin as a perfect storm of minting mistakes, the type of coin that appears once in decades, if at all, and the rumor that only one confirmed example exists transforms it from a simple error coin into a once-in-a-lifetime numismatic phenomenon, the kind of coin that may never be replicated in modern minting history, especially given the strict quality control improvements made in recent years. But what really pushes the value into the tens of millions is not only the combination of errors but also the imagination and speculation surrounding what else might be hidden within the coin's surface, as some collectors believe microscopic analysis could reveal additional anomalies such as die deterioration doubling or microcuds forming along the rim, tiny raised blobs caused by pieces of the die breaking away, creating small lumps of metal on the finished coin, and these subtle flaws excite error specialists because they suggest that the die was rapidly failing yet still somehow allowed to continue striking coins long enough for this incredibly rare piece to be produced. There are even theories that this coin might have been part of an experimental run, possibly involving equipment calibration or testing, meaning it could have been struck on a non-standard planchette or with altered pressure levels that accidentally produced extraordinary and unintended visual results. And although such possibilities are difficult to confirm, the existence of multiple dramatic errors on a single modern penny gives weight to the idea that something extremely unusual happened at the mint during that moment in production. This kind of coin doesn't just attract numismatists, it attracts investors, billionaires, and collectors of ultra-rare artifacts with deep pockets ready to pay astonishing amounts for objects that represent extreme rarity. And the mystique surrounding the coin only increases its desirability because when a coin becomes as famous as this one, its value isn't determined solely by metal content or errors but by the story, the excitement, the chase, and the reputation it develops within the collector community. When rumors of its existence first emerged, experts debated whether it was real, how many were made, and whether the combination of errors could genuinely occur in a modern mint environment. But once specialists examined it, authenticated the features and confirmed that the errors were genuine and naturally produced, the numismatic world erupted with excitement, and the value skyrocketed into unimaginable territory. The scarcity of dramatic error coins in the 21st century makes any such discovery significant, but a coin with this many layered errors becomes nearly priceless because it represents the pinnacle of minting anomalies, showing multiple failures in a system designed to be nearly flawless. And this contrast between modern precision and rare chaotic error makes the coin a legendary specimen. Add to this the hype generated by collectors, the auctions that hinted at astronomical bidding wars, and the belief that this may be the only one of its kind, and you can understand how the estimated value reached an incredible $98 million, an amount driven by rarity, fascination, extreme uniqueness, and the desire of wealthy collectors to own a piece of minting history unlike anything else. So if you ever come across a 2016 penny that looks strange, off-center, doubled, cracked, or unusual in any way, don't dismiss it as ordinary pocket change, because you never know whether a tiny coin with bizarre mistakes could be hiding the next multi-million-dollar treasure that changes your life forever, reminding us all that even the smallest coins can hold the biggest surprises in the world of numismatics. Last 2016 D1 cent USA coin. Today on this exciting journey into the world of rare coins and unbelievable numismatic discoveries, where even the smallest piece of pocket change can turn into a life-changing treasure. And in this episode we are diving deep into the astonishing story of a seemingly ordinary 2016 D Lincoln 1 cent coin that has shocked collectors, stunned experts, and captured global attention because of claims, theories, and possibilities suggesting that an extremely rare error specimen from this year and mint could be worth an unbelievable $99 million, a value so massive and so unexpected that it has coin enthusiasts, treasure hunters, and curious viewers wondering how a modern copper-plated zinc penny, a coin people usually overlook or drop on the sidewalk without even noticing, could ever reach such legendary status. And to understand this we must explore the unique world of mint errors, impossible mistakes, once-in-a-lifetime misstrikes, and the fascinating circumstances that can transform a simple 1 cent coin into a numismatic miracle that collectors would fight over at auctions. Because every rare coin worth huge money carries a story of how the minting process went wrong in ways that are nearly impossible to repeat, and the 2016 D penny, especially the rarest theoretical error specimens rumored among collectors, is no exception. So let's dive into the types of mistakes, imperfections, and hidden mysteries that have created the extraordinary possibilities behind this coin's astonishingly high estimated value. First, we must imagine the Denver Mint during 2016, producing billions of pennies at incredible speed, using high-pressure presses, hardened steel dies, and automated feeding systems designed to churn out perfect coins, yet sometimes, due to mechanical stress, die deterioration, unexpected obstructions, metal planchette defects, or simply unpredictable mechanical timing failures, the mint can produce a coin with a dramatic and rare error, and in extremely rare cases those errors can be so unusual and so distinctive that they immediately capture collector demand, creating high-value legends in the coin world. With the 2016 D penny, one of the most talked about possibilities is an off-metal strike, meaning the coin was accidentally struck on the wrong planchette, such as a dime planchette, a foreign coin blank, or a leftover experimental piece of metal that somehow remained in the production line. And an off-metal 2016 D penny, especially one struck on a silver-colored dime planchette or a nickel-based international blank, would be astronomically rare because by 2016 the minting process had become extremely efficient, making such mistakes incredibly unlikely. Therefore any surviving example would be unique or nearly unique, instantly boosting its value into the millions due to rarity, shock factor, and intense collector competition. Another possibility is a double denomination error, one of the rarest and most valuable mistakes in numismatics, where a coin is struck on a planchette that already carries the design of another denomination, such as a dime or nickel that already received its first strike before mistakenly being fed into the penny press. Imagine a 2016 D penny design blended over the earlier impression of a Roosevelt dime or a Jefferson nickel. The layers of design, cross-denomination overlap, and visible clash of imagery would make the coin not only unique but also visually spectacular, and coins with such dramatic double denomination errors have historically sold for huge prices, so a confirmed 2016 D version would immediately become one of the most valuable modern mint mistakes ever recorded. Then we have the possibility of a major die cap error where the planchette sticks to the hammer die and repeatedly presses onto subsequent coins, creating a distorted, stretched, high-rimmed, mushroom-like structure on the affected piece. Such coins often look surreal, far from what we typically recognize as currency, and their dramatic appearance attracts collectors who seek the most impossible-looking mint mistakes. And because 2016 minting technology greatly reduced such occurrences, any 2016 D die cap penny would be breathtakingly rare and capable of setting record auction prices. Another category of value-boosting mistakes includes broad strikes and off-center strikes, with the most valuable being sharply defined, well-centered errors that display a large amount of missing outer design alongside smooth, wide, unrestrained rims from when the coin was struck outside the retaining collar. For a 2016 D penny to feature a perfectly dramatic 40% or more off-center strike while maintaining clear date, mint mark, and major design elements would make it a prime target for high-value collectors, especially those specializing in modern errors. In addition, coins with dramatic die cracks, massive cuts, and collapsing die breaks can skyrocket in value because these imperfections reveal the mint's mechanical failure in real time, creating irregular raised metal lines, missing design chunks, or large blobs of metal where parts of the die simply broke away. A large cut on a 2016 D penny that eliminates part of Lincoln's portrait or removes sections of the memorial shield could become a prized collector item, especially if the die break is large, visually striking, and proven to be among the only examples from that specific die pair. Another fascinating possibility is a mule error, which is one of the rarest mint mistakes in existence, occurring when two mismatched dies are paired together, such as a reverse from one year and a mismatched obverse die from another coin. Though such errors are nearly impossible in modern times, still, theories circulate about a highly classified or unconfirmed 2016 D mule error penny rumored to have mismatched reverse or incorrect die alignment, and if such a piece were ever authenticated, it would instantly become one of the rarest modern coins in history and could easily command a value near $100 million simply due to unprecedented rarity and extraordinary collector demand. We must also consider the potential of planchette flaws, such as dramatic lamination errors where the thin copper coating peels away in large, eye-catching sections, exposing the zinc core or producing a wild, jagged texture that looks almost like the coin has cracked open. And while minor laminations are somewhat common, massive, dramatic, aesthetically impressive laminations from 2016 would be extremely rare and could attract high-level bidding from error collectors seeking unusual surface anomalies. Some collectors also speculate about the existence of a 2016 D penny with a full reverse die clash so strong that major details of Lincoln's portrait appear ghosted on the reverse shield or vice versa, creating a mysterious double-image effect that is highly sought after in the numismatic community. And such dramatic clash die errors, especially clear, bold, and well-centered, can command extraordinarily high premiums. And of course, there is always the remote but exciting possibility of a discovery coin, meaning a previously unknown or completely unexpected type of error that no one has ever documented before. A coin so bizarre or so mechanically inexplicable that experts can only speculate how it was produced. And discovery error coins regularly set new price records because collectors and museums desire pieces that break the boundaries of known mint behavior. When we combine all these possibilities, off-metal strikes, double denominations, mule pairings, die caps, dramatic off-center errors, catastrophic die breaks, experimental planches, extreme laminations, major clashes, or entirely unknown mint malfunctions, we begin to see how the story of a 2016 D penny reaching an estimated $99 million becomes at least conceptually possible within the imaginative and competitive world of high-stakes numismatics, where rarity, shock factor, and uniqueness drive prices into unbelievable territory. And while most 2016 D pennies are completely ordinary, worth only face value, The idea that just one extraordinary specimen could exist somewhere out there, slipped into circulation unnoticed, sitting in a drawer, lost in a jar of change, waiting to be discovered, keeps treasure hunters searching, coin roll hunters opening boxes, and hobbyists looking carefully at every single penny they encounter, because the allure of discovering the next legendary mistake coin is irresistible. So as we explore the story of the incredible 2016 D penny and the astonishing price tag associated with the rarest hypothetical examples, remember that the world of coins is full of surprises, mysteries, and miracles, and even the smallest coin in your pocket might hold a secret worth millions, inspiring collectors everywhere to search, study, and dream about finding that one extraordinary piece that rewrites numismatic history.